So in the past 17 years, I've done over 700 events. I've raised over 135 million for charity, and here we are.
Love it. So I think if you can confidently say, like, with proof that you've raised 130 million, I don't think that's a small thing to do, right?
Well, and as we shared earlier, it's like the Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? And do people like me? Right? And being able to convey that, because I'm not an arrogant individual. I don't like to be cocky. And I think maybe that's that underlying thing for me. And when we talk about head trash, is I don't want to come across arrogant. I don't want to come across like I'm better than anybody else. I'm super good at what I do, right? Maybe that's something that's holding me back.
Well, you tell me, like, do you think it is or isn't?
Well, I do tend to hide that, right? And I've done the math, and many times over the past 17 years, and that is accurate. My company, I used to have other auctioneers, and I mean, I've trained really successful auctioneers who are doing the same thing, right? So I think that's my struggle, to be humble, is not to lead with that.
So if you have objective evidence that you have raised 130 million, why is that any different than me saying I'm wearing a blue shirt?
That's something to really think about, isn't it? Well, what's the common denominator? Me, right? I mean, what is
Correct.
it? Is it the fear of judgment? I think what you say is true. I have to stop playing small, and I see that so clearly in my life, is playing small. And I
Perfect.
see it from years ago. And you're right, there's some stuff that's very deep seated in that. It's not just what happened last year or 5 years ago. It's what happened 30 years ago. It's what happened 40 years ago. Right. And so to be able to go back and see how those situations all culminated in me figuring out it was safer to play small than to play big.